And as I think about other 2E kids and their families too, I just hope that there's becomes greater understanding and greater flexibility in education surrounding these kids, because they're the people who are going to do amazing things in the world, and unless they can be recognized as these kind of quirky individuals instead of just like test scores and kind of difficult, and you're not able to figure them out. It's just sad, right, to watch these kids suffer, because they're some of the most amazing kids in the whole world. So I just think there's greater flexibility in traditional education and understanding, so that they can thrive and not be broken down.
So my hope for the future for 2E individuals, students, is that everyone figures out and understands that there's a lot of different types of people in the world, and that it's something that we may have just discovered, but these people, these kids have always been here. And while they may have been underserved, or no one knew how to help them or help them to be successful, we're learning a lot. We're learning every day. And every time we try, we get a little bit better. There's a lot of bumps in the road, I know, but my hope is that this will become something like uh, left-handed or right-handed. This is just something the way that people are. People are really smart, but have some hurdles or some fences that they need to get over. And that doesn't make them any less worthy or any less worthwhile. They're still deserving of time and attention and love and support. And I think the biggest thing would be that uh, children are not necessarily singled out and labeled as 2E, that people learn that it's just another way of being. It's not that different, and it's fairly common. So my hope for the future of 2E students who then become adults and integrate into our society is that they're not that different or seen as different or outside from anybody else. Everybody just has their different ways of living and processing and thinking, and that no one way is better than the other.
This realization that I had when I got here of being surrounded by other parents of children like my son, who just realizing suddenly that I am not alone and that what Luca does is not willful. It is not, these behaviors that 2E kids have are not something they're doing for attention. They're not doing it because it's just this, like I've said before, I'm a biologist, it's a phenotype. And we are constantly trying to shove our kids into these round holes, and they don't fit, and that's not their fault. And our educational system, is what needs to change, not our kids. Our kids are wonderful. They're the ones that have the ideas that'll change the world, and we need to help them get the education they need to be able to do that, and trying to make them fit into what we think is normal is not going to get us there. Yeah, I see it happening as I've done all for people who are neurodiverse. I see it acknowledged more and more. Like as I was looking for engineering programs, there's a group at the University of Connecticut who's specifically studying neurodiversity in engineering. UConn would be a terrible place for Luca because it's gigantic and personal, but specifically they are studying neurodiversity in engineering, and how the people who have the big ideas, who will be able to change the way we do things, are often the ones with neurodiversity, ASD, dyslexia, ADHD kind of barriers that make it harder for them to engage in an engineering education. And so when you look at the percentage of people in an engineering school or class, it's very low compared to the population. And in other words, we are not creating an environment where they can go to learn. And if we want our world to be better and to, go into the future with new ideas, we need to find a way of including these people with big ideas who think more creatively and innovatively. And I think that's true for just about anything. And that's why it's so important that schools don't leave 2E kids in the corner like Luca was, finding objects on the playground and building catapults when he was in 5th grade because he didn't have anything else to do. So, yeah.